The India-China standoff in Ladakh has just entered its sixth month. The Indian Army is fully prepared for any eventuality, including military action. But few know that the Indian Army actually faces a challenge on Indian territory that is almost as serious. India Today recently broke the story about how an Indian Army report has pointed a finger at the Ordnance Factory Board for supplying faulty ammunition that's taken the lives of as many as 27 troops and injured more than 150 over just the last 6 years. In fact, there have been 13 such incidents this year alone. The Ordnance Factory Board is the largest supplier of ammunition, armaments, rifles, clothes, shoes, boots to the Indian military. You're probably wondering, what is the Ordnance Factory Board? Well, it's a network of over 50 factories spread all across the country, and this is a board that's over 200 years old. That's right, it's a relic of the Raj and deeply rooted in a socialist structure. For many decades now, there has been a move to corporatize the Ordnance Factory Board and impose greater accountability, quality and a competitive spirit, something that the OFB has actively resisted, and aggressively so. With the Modi government now ramping up and amplifying this effort to corporatize the Ordnance Factory Board, the Indian Army's report comes out to point a finger at the Ordnance Factory Board and say that corporatization and quality control is a must because of these reasons. The numbers are extremely disturbing. Over 400 ammunition-related accidents pertaining to OFB supplied ammunition over the last 6 years, more than 25 deaths of troops, over 150 accidents where injuries have happened. These are numbers that the Army takes very seriously, and it hopes it will support the case for OFB to get more accountable. But while faulty ammunition and the fight between the OFB and the Army is one side of the story, the other side is even more disturbing. Taking this corporatization effort head on, the Ordnance Factory Board's unions of workers have announced an indefinite strike. They did this back in August, and it's supposed to happen on October the 12th. As you have no doubt guessed, this is a terrible time for the country's principal ammunition supplier to the Army to actually be going on strike. With uncertainty on the line of actual control with China, the Indian Army needs surety and certainty and predictability of supply of ammunition more than ever before. And there couldn't be a worse time for the Ordnance Factory Board to actually call an indefinite strike of this kind. All efforts are currently being made, including by the Labour Commission, the Ministry of Defence and other agencies, to persuade the Ordnance Factory Board not to hold the strike at this time. Because whatever their grievances as far as corporatization is concerned, this is not the right time for a strike, because this pertains to national security. India Today has learnt that talks are currently on between both sides, and hopefully the stalemate will be resolved. But the larger issue of the Ordnance Factory Board refusing to move forward, modernize, become much more competitive and stop taking its captive market, the Indian military, for granted is something that needs to be done. Because so far the Ordnance Factory Board and many agencies like it have been on easy street. They have captive orders from the Indian military because the Indian military has nowhere else to go for certain items. There is a view that the Ordnance Factory Board needs to be privatized, with each of its factories sold off in pieces to the private sector, where competition, competitiveness and quality is an imperative rather than a choice. Well, as the Army tries to sort out its relationship with the Ordnance Factory Board as far as quality control is concerned, whether it pertains to bullets in rifles or tank shells or artillery shells or air defense artillery shells, the big question now is, what is the Army's experience going to be going forward? And will the Ordnance Factory Board agree that it's time to say goodbye to the past and hello to the future?